Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
This is Hashem. So today we're going to be talking about being Mekadesh the Chomer. We're going to talk about taking this Yetzer Hara that we have and using it the Torah. Right? When am I supposed to be using this the Torah? You open up a Shulchan Aruch, it doesn't sound like it. What am I supposed to be doing now? What am I supposed to be doing? I'm going to tell you a chiddush today. I may have told this, especially maybe Shalom heard this chiddush before, but it's kedai. I enjoy saying this chiddush. It's mechazik me, and I think that I hope that this will be mechadesh. Give chizuk to everybody else. Okay, here we go. Mazet tzniut. What is tznius? What is tznius? And what you'll see what this has to do with our whole discussion of Shmiras Einayim. You'll see it as we go along to explain the idea over here. It actually comes in this week's parsha. This week's parsha we learn the yesod of tznius. What is not just the yesod, the foundation of tznius, but the sod, the secret of tznius. Ready? Parshas Vayetze. That's where we learn it from. The Gemara in Maseches Megillah says, "My tznius haya de Rochel." Rochel Imeinu had the midah of tznius, and in that schus of the midah of tznius, she had a Shaul. Shaul HaMelech came from Rochel Imeinu, from Binyamin. In the schus of her tznius, she got the Shaul HaMelech, who was a tzniua, who was also Daf Yud Gimel. Okay, and the Gemara then goes to say, and in the schus of the tznius of Shaul, he got another person that came from him, Esther Hamalka. Esther Hamalka. So what is the tznius of Rochel Imeinu? What is the tznius of Shaul HaMelech? And what is the tznius of Esther Hamalka? You're going to see an amazing idea, Chevra. Amazing idea. I heard this first time many years ago, when I was 18 years old, from one of my Rebbeim, Rabbi Binyamin Fox Shlita. He said this word, and it's mamish and emes de gavart. It's such a beautiful word. Okay? Listen very carefully. The Gemara asks this, what was the tznius that Rochel had? And the Gemara goes on to explain that Rochel Imeinu was supposed to marry Yaakov. Avinu. And Yaakov Avinu was a very smart man. And Yaakov Avinu knew that Lavan Harasha is not going to exactly let this go. He's going to pull some kind of prank over here. He's going to make something go wrong over here, and I know it. He's going to probably switch my wife on me and give me some other girl. I'm not going to let it happen. So do you know what he did? He came to Rochel and he said, "Rochel, we gotta make sure this doesn't happen." Oh, what do we do? He said, "I'm going to give you special signs to know that it's you, because the kala, she wears a Hinuma, she wears on her face. She's yeah. It wasn't shakuf, that's right. So he couldn't see. She was wearing a covering on her face. And how am I going to know that it's you? How am I going to know that it's you? And maybe it's dark and whatever, it's hard to see. How am I going to know it's you?" So he gave Rochel certain simanim. They had a code. And the code was how he's going to know that it's really you. That's how I know it's really you. Okay? Then Rochel getting ready, and she sees, wait a second, why are they making a simlat kala for her sister, Leah? Wow, what's going on over here? And she realizes that she's not going to the chuppah tonight. Her sister Leah is going to go. And wow. And then what's going to happen is that Yaakov Avinu is going to know that this is not really Rochel, because Leah doesn't have the simanim. And right before anything happens, Yaakov Avinu is going to stop everything, because he knows that Lavan is tricking him. And what's going to happen is that my sister Leah is going to be embarrassed. She's going to be very embarrassed. Leah was a tzaddikus. She was. So Rochel Imeinu now is stuck. What is she going to do? What's she going to do? On the one hand, this is my future husband. What am I going to do? 1 second, it's not him. It's Rochel now. Rochel decides the right thing to do. Rochel decides the right thing to do is to give the simanim to Leah. So now Leah has the simanim, and she did it in such a smart way also. She did it in a way that she said to Leah, Leah, I need to tell you something very, very important. I was talking to Yaakov, and Yaakov is so happy to marry you. He made up a story. I'm so happy to marry you, but he wants to make sure that you're not switched for somebody else. So he gave me simanim to give to you, so that Yaakov will know that it's you. And Rochel gave Leah the simanim. And that's why the pasuk says that only in the morning did Yaakov realize that this was not Rochel, it was Leah. What happened? What happened the night before? So Rashi says because Leah had the simanim because Rochel gave them to her, that's why Yaakov thought this was Rochel. So they talk about the simanim were the mitzvahs of a woman.
What?
Right? Nila chala v'hadlaka saner.
Oh.
Yeah?
But then there was no such thing.
Of course they kept the Torah back then, of course. The Avos HaKadoshim, for sure they kept the Torah. Of course they did. Right? I don't know exactly what it was, how it went over, but Leah knew the simanim. Leah knew the simanim. Says the Gemara, that was the tznius of tznius of Rochel. Now, can anybody explain to me why was that tsanua? What was tsanua about that? What was that tznius? Before we answer the question, let's go on to the next thing. What was the tznius of Shaul HaMelech? Shaul HaMelech, he was an anav, that's right. But what's the tznius? He was anivus is one thing. Being humble is one thing, but tzniut is modesty, something different. What's the difference? What was the tzniut? So the Gemara says the tzniut of Shaul was that Shaul was made king. Shaul was the first king of Klal Yisrael. And he became king after the leader of Klal Yisrael made him the king. Who was the leader of Klal Yisrael? Shmuel HaNavi. Shmuel HaNavi was the leader of Klal Yisrael. And he made Shaul the king. But he told Shaul, don't tell anybody yet. Don't tell anybody until the right time when I'm going to announce it. You don't tell anybody. And Shaul met his uncle right after this happened. And his uncle, Adod Shalo. I don't remember what his name was. And he met him, and his uncle asked him, what's new, what's going on over there? And what did Shaul say? Did Shaul say, oh, big news, I just became the king of Klal Yisrael? No, he didn't. He kept it quiet. He didn't say anything. He was quiet. He says that was the tznius of Shaul. And what was the tznius of Esther? The tznius of Esther was that Esther became the queen. She was married to Achashverosh. But Mordechai had tzaddik. Mordechai told Esther, don't tell Achashverosh that you're a Jew. Don't tell Achashverosh that you're a Jew. Doesn't matter how he pushes you. Doesn't matter what he does. Never, ever. Don't tell him that you're a Jew. And she didn't. For years. He tried all kinds of different ways to get her to tell where she's from, but she wouldn't say. Arasof, until the Suda with Haman. And she said, I'm a Jew, at the very, very end. That was the tznius of Esther. Now, what is all this talking about? What's this Gemara talking about? I thought tznius means like you have to cover your body and you have to, dress tsanua in a way that like nobody's, you're not...
like a cat.
Right?
Cat is
Right. You want to cover yourself, right? You have to wear long skirts and what is tznius? What does tznius have to do with this? I'm going to tell you Yesoid, and the Yesoid is going to answer all the questions. And with this, we can understand the chashibus of Shmiras Einayim. Okay? The Yesoid is like this. When you have something that is very, very powerful, you want to keep it a secret. Because if you publicize it, if you tell everybody about it, it loses its power. Let's say, for example, you have a surprise attack. You're going to attack Iran. Are you going to announce everybody, by the way, knock, talk, Iran, we're going to attack you next week, Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Obviously, they're not going to do that. That would be kind of silly because you lose all of that surprise. You lose, and they're going to be ready for you. They're going to be ready to fight with you. You don't do that. What? Okay, I can't.
Oh,
A goyish cup. Yeah, I don't know. They're not so tznius, those guys. The idea is that we want, in order to keep something powerful, you have to keep it hidden. You keep it hidden, and then you reveal it at the right time. At the right moment, at the exact right moment where you can have the most power, that's when you reveal it. That's a big boom. But it only works. That only works if you kept it hidden the whole time. If it wasn't hidden the whole time, then what's the big power? Everybody knows it already. Everybody saw it already. Everybody knows. Rochel Imeinu, she had a secret. She didn't reveal it to anybody. But she realized, no, now is the exact right time to reveal it. This is it. This is the right time. I have to reveal it right now in order to save my sister from embarrassment. Boom. I'm revealing it right now. Shaul HaMelech had a secret, a very powerful secret. He was becoming the king. But when was the right time to reveal it? Not yet. Shmuel HaNavi had to get the nation ready. He had to prepare the nation, and he had to give them one last big musar shmooze to get them ready before. If they would have known that Shaul was already the king, everybody would have forgotten about Shmuel HaNavi already. And his words wouldn't have had any impact. It's because that Shmuel did this. He kept it quiet, and Shaul agreed. Shaul was the tznius one. He didn't reveal it until the right time. Was there ever a time that it was revealed that he was king? Of course, he was king. Everybody knew he was king. But only at the right time. That's where the power is. And that is what happened with Esther as well. Esther was told, you have a secret. Don't reveal it. Don't tell anybody that you're a Jew. There's power in this. Tremendous power. And what did Esther do? We have to save the Jews. All the Jews are going to be the Hashmid La'arogalabe. They're all going to be destroyed. Here's my only hope. Boom. I'm going to give a big boom. What's she going to do? She goes and she has a suda with Haman and Achashverosh. And she says, Achashverosh, don't you know? Me and my nation are going to be murdered. And Achashverosh, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean? And she says, I'm a Jew. This guy over here, Haman, wants to kill me and my whole nation. Boom! What a shock! In 1 second, the whole thing turned upside down. A few minutes later, Haman is there hanging on the gallows because she kept it quiet for all this time. Because she kept it hidden for all this time. There's so much power. There's so much power involved in the relationship between a husband and wife. Tremendous, tremendous amount of power. But what if you waste it before you're married? You don't use it. You don't save it. You don't hide it. You spread it out to everybody. I don't mind this one, that one. Everybody. Is there a special relationship between a husband and a wife? Is there that special relationship? No. A woman shares her body with everybody. Come, not just my husband needs to look at me. Everybody can look at me. There's nothing special. There's nothing secret. There's no power. When a woman dresses in that tznius way, it's not just she's keeping her body covered. She's keeping it special for the time when she's going to be married, when she's going to have a husband. And it's the same thing for a man. A man, his eyes are kadosh. His eyes are not supposed to be looking at every woman out there. When you look at something, you have shaykhus to that thing. I'm connecting to that thing. So if a woman is dressed in a non-tznius way and people are looking at her, all of those people are connected to that woman. And if a man is looking at another woman, then he connects to her. Is that who I want to be connected to? Do I want to be connected to this one? Do I want to be connected to that one? I want to use my eyes only for one person. That's the opportunities that we have. I'm not looking because I need to save this. I need to save this for something big, for something huge. That's what I want to do. The relationship that I'm going to have with my wife is much bigger and more important than any other little pleasures that I can get by looking at all these other things. Don't I want that power? Don't I want that koyach? Don't I want to have that? And a woman saying the same thing. I don't want to have a connection with any other man. I want to have a connection only with my husband. So then I have to save myself. I have to protect myself. So that I'm only going to share myself with my husband. That's what it means. That's what Shmiras Einayim does. I'm protect myself. I'm putting up walls. I'm protecting myself. I'm going to get so much bigger, so much better. And I want that. Don't we want that better thing? Don't we want that bigger thing? You invest a few dollars now, you're going to make millions of dollars. It's not worth it, but you have to give those few dollars now. How much are you getting by looking? How much are we getting by looking a little bit? A little, it lasts for a few seconds. Oh, okay. That's it. That's it. What am I losing? Rabbi, I can have both. You can't have both. Sorry to tell you, everybody. Maybe I've said this a million times, but I'm going to say it again. You can't have both. It doesn't work like that. Because once you've already used it, you don't have the power anymore. Does that mean a person can't do teshuva? Can always do teshuva. Can always do teshuva. But it's going to be hard. You got to work hard. A person can do teshuva. But it's going to be hard. It's not going to be simple. That's why it's better never to have to do it in the first place. Right? But Malkum Shabali Tshuva Omdim Afilu Tzadikim Gemurim Ein Omdim. What's Pashup Pshat in that? Pashup Pshat is like Rabbeinu Yoina says there in Brachos. That he says that Bali Tshuva have to go much, much harder. They have to work much more in order to be able to get to the same place that a tzaddik can get to much more easily. Because they need to make up. They need to make up the things that they did wrong. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Anybody can do teshuva. You can do teshuva ad kedei kach, that you can become a tzaddik yesod olam. You can. You see that people did it. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. Much better not to start in the first place. But even if we started already, we can stop. We still have time. It's not over. We can stop, and every second that we stop makes a difference. There's no such thing as a person saying, well, I've done it so much already, I'm already lost. It's already too late. I can't do it anymore. Chaval, such a person. That's the Yetzer Hara talking. There's no such thing as I've gone too far, I've done too much already. I'm already lost. The Gemara says that about a certain man named Acher, whose real name was Elisha ben Abuya. He said, I can't do teshuva. I can't do teshuva. Everybody else can do it. He said, he even had Ruach HaKodesh. And he heard in Shemayim that they were saying, everybody could do teshuva but you. You're the only one who can't do teshuva. Not true. It's not true.
Is that a J?
No. Elisha ben Abuya. It was a Tana.
Oh.
It was a Tana. Everybody can do teshuva. Anybody can do, but you have to want to do teshuva. You have to want to do teshuva. But of course you have to do it. And it's hard. Even Yeravim ben Nevat, the Gemara says, the Mishnah says in Avos, it sounds like it says Yeravim ben Nevat can't do teshuva. That's not what the Mishnah means. If you look at it carefully, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that Yeravim ben Nevat can't do teshuva. It says Yeravim ben Nevat is not put in his hand to do teshuva, which means it's not going to be easy for him to do teshuva. I have a raya for it. The Gemara in Maseches Sanhedrin, I believe in Perek Chelek, it says about Yeravim ben Nevat, who was a big Rasha, who says, the Mishnah says, he's one of the kings who doesn't have a chelik in Olam Haba. But it's pretty bad. You're on that list of people who don't have a chelik in Olam Haba, right? But the Gemara says that Hashem grabbed Yeravim ben Nevat and said, do teshuva. If you do teshuva, me and you and David HaMelech walk together in Gan Eden. That's what it says. So how can it be? How can it be that Yeravim ben Nevat can't do teshuva if Hashem even said to him to do teshuva? Hashem said, do teshuva. You can't say he couldn't do teshuva.
What did he do?
So what did he do? So the Gemara goes on to say, he said to Hashem, Mi barosh, who's first? Meaning, you said we're going to be walking in Gan Eden together. Who's going to be the first one? Who's going to be the leader? So Hashem said, Ben Yishai barosh. So David HaMelech, he's going to be the first one. So Yeravim ben Nevat said, I'm not interested. Yeravim ben Nevat, Yeravim ben Nevat, he did not only he was a choyti umachti. That's what the Mishnah in Abba says. He himself did Avodah Zarah, and he caused massive amounts of Klal Yisrael to do Avodah Zarah. Caused so many Jews to do Avodah Zarah. It's pretty bad. But could he do tshuva? Yeah, he could do tshuva. Everybody could do tshuva. But don't think for a second that somebody can say, I can do this and I can do that. I can have fun when I'm a bacher and do whatever I want. And then when I want, I'm going to get married and I'm going to have an amazing relationship with my wife and it's going to be perfect and it's going to be just as good as anybody else. Habib, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You can fool yourself all you want, but it's not going to work like that. And you know, the one who's going to get hurt more than anybody else is you. That's what's going to end up happening. So you can believe me or you don't have to believe me, but at the end of the day, you're going to see what the truth is. Yeah?
אז כאילו, הוא יכול להגיד, טוב, אז בוא נחכה עוד איזה תקופה, ואז נחזור בתשובה.
Right? So the Mishnah Maseches, right? The Mishnah in Maseches Yuma says that if a person says that I'm going to do Averos and Yom Kippur is going to be Mechaper for me, so Yom Kippur is not Mechaper for him. Right? Yeah, you can't beat the system. So, do you know what happens to a lot of these people who say, let me go and then I'll go to tshuva? You know what happens to them? A lot of them never get the opportunity to do tshuva, or many of them are not interested in doing tshuva by the time they're done. And sometimes the tshuva is so hard, it's painful. It's so hard to do the tshuva. And real tshuva means real charata. Real charata means, I really wish I never would have done that. I really wish. So if a person going in says, oh, I'm going to go have fun and then I'm going to do tshuva, so either he doesn't know what tshuva is at all, or he's mamish a hypocrite, right? And Zaifan, mashu kaze?
Yeah,
Something like that, yeah?
משחק אותה.
Yeah? He thinks it doesn't work. L'chatchila, I'm going to go do that? Yeah, I know there are people who say that. There are people who do that. People say, yeah, you know, let me go off the derech and have fun for a little bit. And then I'll do tshuva. I'll be one of those guys and I'll do tshuva. I'll go, right? There's so much damage. That's going to get done. You know what that's? You have a brand new car. Let me go smash the car up a little bit, and then I'll fix it. Like what? Why would you do that? Why? Yeah, because I want to have fun, so I'm going to smash my car. Right? L'chatchila? Nobody's going to do that l'chatchila, right? L'chatchila, nobody's going to do that. People make mistakes. People make mistakes. Yeah, they can make mistakes, but l'chatchila is going to do that. But that's it. Even though we have had our challenges and we've had our falls, we have our difficulties. True. All that is true. But Hashem knows that too. And Hashem knows we're trying, we're working hard. And as long as we're really trying our best, we'll get there, and we'll get the benefits. Every little bit makes a difference. Every little bit. A person can always do more tshuva. A person can always strengthen himself, even if a person hasn't done any averos. You know, Nebuch, the guy who never did any averos. What kind of boring life does he have? Right? No, not exactly like that. But since Ein Tzadik Ba'aretz Asher Aseh Tov V'lo Yechteh, right? There's no such thing as somebody who never does averos. Nobody. No such thing. People make mistakes. Great people make mistakes. Great people. Moshe Rabbeinu, it's written in the Torah, made a big mistake. Moshe Rabbeinu. The Midrashim are full. The Obos HaKadoshim made mistakes.
אדם פאווה.
Yeah.
האנשים היום השתפרו, הם מדברים לצאת כבר.
Great people make mistakes. We make mistakes, but we can do better. We can improve. We can do tshuva. But we should realize we are getting so much better, something so much bigger. Why do we want to give up on it? We don't realize tznius can be so powerful and can be such an amazing bond that a man can have with his wife. Isn't that what anybody wants? Isn't that what we want more than anything else? Why give it up? Why give up on it? It's not worth it for just a few seconds. Well, obviously not a few seconds. I'm going to do it for hours. unfortunately, like we said, those things are only going to end up hurting us. They're going to end up hurting us.
יש שלב בחיים שכל הקטע הזה אמור להיות יותר קל.
Okay. You know when it becomes easier? It becomes easier when you have a real solid kesher with your wife. When you have a real strong kesher with your wife, it does become easier. Chazal described the other women, hem kamo tarnagolim. Yeah? They're like chickens. That's what they are. Right? Because I have such a strong kesher with my wife, but that's what it takes. It needs to be a very strong kesher. How are you going to have that strong kesher with your wife? You're going to have your strong kesher with your wife because my eyes are only for my wife. That's it. Her body is only for me, not for anybody else. Right? We need to have two sides. But right now, until we're married, we have to do our sides. We do our side, Bezos Hashem. Hashem will send us the right person, and then we'll be able to get the benefits, reap the benefits from all of our hard work in Shmiras Einayim.
Oh, man.
Bezos Hashem. Gloria.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Eli Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.